Hello, hello. Okay, so tasks and challenges in a lifestyle. A person was saying, it's a female-led relationship, and she was saying that she set a task and challenge for her sub, and due to their competitive nature, they're insistent on completing the task, and she wants to. I guess she used the word renege on it, but I don't see it as that way. They were saying, but I want to complete the challenge, and they were saying, no, I demand this, and I'm like, well, number one, you're supposed to be the dom and take control of them. Yeah, I can understand that they don't want a dom that's soft on them, but you also don't want a dom that's going to harm them unnecessarily. You want a dom that recognises their limits and say, stop, you've reached your limit. We can test that limit at another time. That is also what being a dom is about, not just letting your sub harm themselves or get a complex over not completing a task. Now, when you set tasks, some tasks are designed to be challenging, but not impossible. Some people do deliberately set impossible, humiliating, completely, tasks and all that, but, that's a test of, what your limits are, confirmations and all that sort of stuff. Now, tasks can be set by the dom, and they can be completed, proof shown, and all that sort of gear. That doesn't mean you always have to set tasks. Some tasks can be extremely specific, some pretty vague. Timelines and all that sort of stuff. When you're getting or giving tasks, just try and be a bit specific. Just a second. Morning. So, task setting. Be specific. Make sure you outline if there's a timeline or not, if there's any sort of conditions. Be aware also of the boundaries, the limits that people have. Also, get a stop point if you think that there might be situations such as I task you to do X, but if you're in public or you're with family or kids, or use your best judgment to either stop or alter it as you need, and please tell me and inform me about what's going on. It allows then the dominant and submissive to recognise where their limits are, how to adjust things for different situations, because some of this is not just in session and in play, but actually in 24/7 lifestyle. So you've got to think about that, how it's going to impact things like their work. For instance, for some people, plugs can be extremely distracting for their work, and they need the full concentration, in which case I say, okay, if you're having difficulties concentrating at work, take it out. Don't keep pushing it. Don't just keep damaging yourself, because you are damaging yourself in that you are risking your work and your career and all that sort of stuff by having these distractions. I would prefer you to be focused entirely on what you're doing at work, and when this is happening, I prefer you to focus entirely on that. So being able to differentiate, you can bring stuff into your normal life, as I have done, but also be aware of the limitations and the restrictions and the effect that it does have on your everyday life. That's not just on the submissive's point of view, but also the dominant's point of view if you set tasks. And don't forget that you set tasks for your sub. If you have to set reminders in your own phone to say, okay, I have this reminder, so I'm going to check in and make sure that they're okay, do it. It provides consistency and stability and engenders more trust. So the problem with how this dominant can possibly take it back or renege, as it were, when the sub had basically said, no, I'm going to do this, you say, no, I'm the dom, you will do as I say, this is what I'm declaring. If they feel like they're I know their masculinity is challenged or their pride is challenged. Say, look, this is not about you. I need you to obey me. This is what I'm doing for your own good. You need to trust me that I'm doing this for your own good. You know, or that you make it aware that, you know, for things such as future play and trust, that they need to have this open dialogue. And if they're having problems, say, okay, well, why do you feel like you need it? Because, you know, as he said, he doesn't want a dom that goes soft. He said, so what do you think is soft about me stopping you from hurting yourself? Or, you know, stopping you at X number of times of doing a task. At this point in time, so say, like, you know, at this point in time, you may not be able to reach that task. That's fine. I'm seeing how far you can go. Next time, we will up it to from, say, like 40 times to 45 times, and we'll see how we go. You know, also the fact that it was a punishment is just one of those things, because you can break up punishment saying, okay, you're going to go, say, like 45 whacks here, 45 whacks there, because, you know, you can't take 200 whacks in one go. So it's just one of those things, being able to adapt, you know, punishments and tasks for different situations, and different frames of mind and different body types, all that sort of stuff. So, tasks. Have you set tasks or have you done tasks? What was clear? What was vague? What situations did it breach over into your normal life, everyday life? And what things did you have to do or communicate to each other about the different situations in order to adjust? Or did you need to communicate, or did you know, say, hey, look, I have enough mindset to be able to stop at this point or keep going at this point, and I let my DRS type know that this was satisfactory, and then that's fine. Okay, I don't think being able to complete a task is everything. It also is good to not complete a task, to fail, in other words, because you learn many things about not completing a task, such as, you know, your current frame of mind, why you couldn't complete a task, what was happening at that time, why, you know, even the dom learns, because they say, okay, at this point in time, what were you feeling? You can communicate to them what was happening at the time. This is all very important stuff. So don't set them up to deliberately fail. You can set them up to push their limits. There's a big difference. There's a difference. Some people set other people up to fail deliberately. Other people don't. Other people just do it to test their limits. It is not failure if your limits are tested and you just don't reach that, or you go past that. It doesn't mean it's a success. Sometimes it's a test. You never know. Anyway, I better get on. Apparently thunderstorms, I hope it reaches our farmers out in the outback. I was thinking about some of our farmers. The key thing about that is creating a microclimate on the farms to encourage a denser atmospheric conditions, to encourage clouds. That takes, you know, up to 5 years to do, but they still need the initial water because they use ancient plants in order to try and, you know, stabilize the soil and increase the greenery. Chatting with some of my farmer friends about it. I need to remember what the guy's name is, where he did all the research and all that, and Murrayfield, but it still doesn't clear up the problem of that they need some water there initially anyway. So that'll be something interesting to chat with my farmer friends about. Okay, catch you guys later. Thank God it's Friday. Love you. Bye.